Hi, hello, how are ya? My name's AliCraft, but you can call me Ali or Craft, and in today's video, we'll be remaking some of my FNaF 1 animatronics, but based off different music genres, so let's get into it. I'm also trying a new editing style, so please bear with me. Get it? Bear with me? Moving on to Freddy first? Funny? Okay. Anyways, yes, we are doing Freddy first, as he is the leader of the band, so I feel like it's only right to start with him first. For Mr. Fazbear, I decided to go for swing and jazz for his music genre. Freddy, at least my version of him, is a gentleman. He's supposed to be the calmest of the group and always keep his head level. When something is happening, he's the one the other animatronics always turn to for advice and or help. It takes a lot to get Freddy angry. He has the longest fuse of anyone you'll ever meet. Oh, and as you may be able to see, I've already done his hair, his skin tone, as well as his eyes, and his outfit mostly. As you can see, I'm just coloring it in, mainly because it takes me a while to make characters actually. Like a long time. As Freddy was technically the template for everyone else, he took me unfortunately 6 hours. Yeah, it's not very fun, but it needed to be done as he's the template, as I said. And everyone else are basically in the same boat as Freddy at the moment, as I just need to color in their outfits. As you may be able to see right now, I'm actually giving Freddy a cane. He actually has a bad leg due to something happening in the workshop, and it resulted in his leg being really damaged, but due to being an older animatronic, parts weren't available to fix it. Despite his bad leg, he doesn't let that slow him down at all. The others, his friends, often try to help him around with little things much to his annoyment, as he doesn't like being treated like a child, but he knows they're just doing it out of worry, as they don't want him injuring himself again. Now onto the guitarist of the band and Freddy's best friend, Bonnie the Bunny. For Bonnie's music genre, I decided to go for rock and metal, as I feel like it was very fitting for him, especially with the personality I've given him. Bonnie is by far the more aggressive one of the group. I thought it was fitting considering the fact he's the first one that attacks you in FNaF 1. He's okay once you get to know him a little bit, but if he doesn't know you, he's kind of a dick. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, shredding is another word for playing your guitar. So I thought it'd be funny if, for when he says that, no one really knows if he's talking about shredding his guitar or shredding with his axe. Also, you might notice that Bonnie's is going a little faster than Freddy's, and that's mainly because I was having a really hard time coloring him for some reason. So his recording came out to be a lot longer than Freddy's, so I had to speed it up quite a bit to make sure to fit in the video. Stated previously, Bonnie is a bit of an asshole and kind of a dick to everyone, including his little brother, Toy Bonnie. Definitely a dick to his brother, Toy Bonnie, actually. They fight all the time. And more often than not, it's over the pettiest shit you'll ever hear. The only person and thing Bonnie is scared of is actually Freddy, and that's because Freddy can be very, very scary when he's angry. Sorry if I may be saying things a little weird and repeating myself. I'm trying to make things a little less polished, as it makes my life a little bit easier to edit this type of stuff. So apologies if I trip over my words a little bit. Off topic though, I actually made playlists for everyone as I was making them, just so I could get in the mindset as I was making them. Bonnie has a playlist, Foxy has a playlist, Freddy has a playlist, even Chica has a playlist. The only one who doesn't have one is Golden Freddy, and that's mainly because he doesn't really have a music genre for himself. And if you're curious about the toys, they're actually not going to be taking inspiration from different music genres. They're actually going to be taking inspiration from different star heats, which I thought would be interesting and fun to do. Probably should have brought this up in the beginning of the video, but if you hear any weird noises in the background, that's just my mom's dog. Chica's music genre was the hardest one for me to actually figure out. In the end, I decided to go for K-pop and pop, as they are separate things. She was the hardest one for me to come up with, but she was actually the easiest one for me to make, because I took inspiration from Hatsune Miku, as well as Zoe from K-pop Demon Hunters. And from my understanding, they could be basically wearing anything depending on the performance, so it gave me a lot more freedom than it does with the other guys. Chica is the bubbly one of the group, the sweetheart basically. She likes making friends and doing basically anything she can to make the others happy, which mostly involves baking for them. Personality wise, I'm not gonna lie, I did take a little inspiration from Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony. Freddy is the responsible leader, Bonnie is a little sadistic and a dick, Foxy is the dumb one who runs into everything without thinking first, and Golden Freddy is the introvert who doesn't really talk much or literally to anyone actually. No one really knew he even had a voice box for a good while. I was originally going to add Carl to the recording, but I decided against it, deciding to just keep him as a cupcake, as to be honest, I am running out of space. I like making characters, so I don't have a lot to work with anymore. Depending on how well this video does, I am going to be remaking the toy animatronics in the same fashion, as I said previously, based on different stars. And if you all happen to be interested in what the Dream Animatronics are going to be turning into, which I honestly doubt you are, as no one really seems to care about them, they are going to be based off different movie genres. For Foxy, I decided to go for sea shanties because, well, obviously, he's a pirate, and folk songs. I have no idea if I said that correctly. Foxy was the easiest for me to make, as I actually didn't really change the design all that much from my previous one, but he was the hardest one to color actually. So if there's like a weird jumps every here and there every once in a while, don't worry about it. I just had to pause the recordings because I didn't want another Bonnie situation. As I said in Chica's section, Foxy is the dumb one of the group. He often is very easily manipulated by his two younger siblings, Toy Foxy and Mangle. He means well, but he's just a little dumb, but that's why the others love him. Foxy is by far the more protective one of the group. He tends to get in the way of things without really thinking about it, mainly because he wants to protect the others. He often gets in fights with Bonnie because Bonnie likes antagonizing him because Foxy is honestly a very easy target. Freddy and Chica have to often break the two up, and if it gets really bad, they have to call Golden Freddy in to help. But back to his design, I couldn't decide if I wanted his peg leg on his right or left foot, but in the end I decided to go for right as that's where the hook and eye patch are anyways. Another thing I should probably bring up right now is actually, these souls have long since passed. They're no longer possessing the animatronics. The only reason the animatronics are still active in the way they are is because of Remnant. Do I know how Remnant and Agni work? Immediately? No. But neither does anyone else, so it works. Now on to the last but not least character of this episode, Golden Freddy, who is admittedly one of my favorites. Golden Freddy, or Fredbear if you want to call him that, which I don't recommend as he will kill you, is Freddy's and Toy Freddy's older brother. He's extremely overprotective of the two after what happened with his twin, Spring Bonnie. And because of what happened to Spring Bonnie, he has a massive beef with both Afton and the puppet. I also feel like he'd have beef with Molten, but I feel like that's just more so because Molten's a dick. Anyways, let's get back on track. Golden Freddy is one of the smartest characters of the cast, and also the strongest due to actually having powers unlike the others. Now you may be asking me, how did he get those powers? And to be honest, I have no clue. He spawned in with them or something, I have no idea. It just feels weird to have a Golden Freddy without powers at this point, because it seems like such a staple of his character. Golden Freddy doesn't talk very much and prefers to be left alone. If you talk to him, the most you'll get is like a nod or a shake of the head. But that's if you're lucky, because most times he'll just turn his back away from you and walk away, because he don't give a fuck what you said. And that's it. FNaF 1 is officially done. As of posting this, Valentine's Day would have been yesterday, so to those who celebrate it, happy Valentine's Day. And this is a little off topic, but actually on my Tumblr account for my FNaF AU, I actually do partner scenarios. No one has really requested anything, and I don't really have any ideas what to do, so if you have any requests, check me out there. I'll leave a link in the description. I do need to update it a little bit, as I have gotten rid of some animatronics that weren't needed. I got rid of the ones that basically don't serve the AU at all. But anyways, this is the end of the video. Happy Valentine's Day to those who celebrate it. Stay safe out there, everyone. And until next video, this is goodbye.